Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Cheryl and this is Your Journey Yoga. And today we are going to focus on being kind and gentle to our bodies, appreciating all that our body does for us every single day, and really just celebrating an opportunity to give back and to create a healthy, happy environment for us to live. Really, that's the key of the game, right? Is to stay happy, healthy, and keep moving and keep going with a smile on our face as best we can. And when we don't feel great, that can be challenging. So here's some time to just take care of yourself. A bolster, a blanket, a pillow, anything that might be of assistance to you to lift the floor up to you and give you just a soft place to land. I'm going to place that bolster right out in front, and we're going to roll those shoulders up and back. You are welcome to sit up on that bolster, that blanket, that pillow, whatever it is. Let's do that shoulder roll again. Close your eyes. Oh, and just let that tension go. Let's turn the palms to face the sky, drape the wrists over the knees, index finger and thumb gently touching. Take a moment, clear your head. Check in. How are you today? Inside and out, emotionally, mentally, physically. Let's gently bring the hands down by your sides, pressing the palms firmly down towards the ground. As you inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, firmly press those palms back down to the ground, keeping that length in the spine. Inhale, lift those shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, firmly press those palms down towards the ground. Let's do that once more. Inhale, lift the shoulders, hands stay flexed, wrists stay flexed, and exhale, press it back down. As you exhale, keeping those palms pressing towards the earth, tuck your chin towards your chest, just gently lowering your head. We're checking in. We're breathing. We're going to stay connected to those big, deep breaths. Inhale the head up nice and tall, and as you exhale, just gently lean your head to the right. And a little press of that left palm down towards the ground. So for whatever the reason is that you chose a gentle stretch today, I applaud you. Some days those can be hard. To take a step or two back, don't think of it as that. Think of giving yourself a gift. Inhale, lift your head, and as you exhale, gently lean the head to the left, pressing that right palm down towards the ground. All too often in the world we live in, it feels like we have to go. We're supposed to go a million miles an hour every second of every day to be productive, to be effective. You know what? When we do that all the time and we don't take time to stop, to breathe, to move slowly, to be kind and gentle to our being, we run out of fuel. We got no more energy in the tank. As you exhale, releasing the chin down towards the chest. And as we deplete those resources emotionally, mentally, physically, that doesn't do anybody any good for sure. Inhale, head up nice and tall, hopefully a little smile on your face. Bringing the hands forward to the shins, take a big breath in, press the chest forward, arch your back, gaze to the sky. And exhale, hollow the tummy and chest. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, press that spine back. Move at your pace. Let's do 2 more of each. Eyes can remain closed or you can open them. Just allow that body to move as it's ready to. Don't force things that aren't meant to happen today. Just breathe. As we move through our practice, we do so without judgment or criticism. We are ever so kind. Sitting up nice and tall, let's take a hold of that bolster and set it into your lap, and we're going to hug those arms around it. Gently pull it in towards your tummy and then just lower your head. So options, depending upon how big your bolster is, you can stack it. So if it's round, like mine is, maybe you put it up lengthwise. Maybe you like it better flat, and you can wrap it the arms around. As you wrap those arms around it, opening up through those shoulder blades, as we draw the chin towards the chest and come forward, just stretching all through that spine. Starting at the tailbone, releasing your hands, slowly stacking each vertebra one at a time as you sit up nice and tall. Let's transition that bolster forward and come forward. You can place it out as far as you need to. Stack your hands and just relax the forehead to the bolster. Letting the upper body just be heavy. Now you can let those hands stay resting, or for a little more intensity, you can bring those arms down towards the floor. You can hold on to that pillow or bolster, or you can extend those arms out. So really just let it be whatever feels good to you. Making sure you're not squashing your nose, that you can still breathe. I'm just kind of resting my forehead just above the bridge of my nose onto the bolster. Now let's circle those arms back and just rest your hands. Back of the hands to the mat. My arms are resting on my knees, giving a little support. If you prefer, you can come underneath those knees. That's going to open up that space between your shoulder blades a little bit more, give you a different kind of stretch through the shoulders. I love to let my hands or my arms just gently rest on my legs and let the palms of the hands open. Very relaxing for the shoulders for me, but you take care of you wherever that feels the best to you. We hold and we breathe. We let go. We check in. Pulling those hands back around in front, gently pressing through the palms of the hands to guide you back up. Let's turn and face the length of the mat. Now we're going to bring the bolster or the blanket behind us, and we're going to place it just about an inch away from us. You can always adjust where it is, and go ahead and lean back on it. Open up that chest. Oh yes, that feels so good. And just let it be supportive from your shoulder blades down your spine. So if you need support for the head, absolutely yes, take it. If you can allow that head to open, to lean back, and to feel that stretch through the neck and through the chest, I invite you to do so. It feels pretty magical. Knees can remain bent, soles of the feet to the earth, or you're welcome to extend those legs out. You may also choose to sit cross-legged. You may also choose to bring the soles of the feet together. If you like, extend those arms overhead. Deeper stretch. Oh my goodness, that feels like magic. Make sure that it feels good to you. You can always adjust. You want it to be a nice stretch, but you do not want it to be more than your body is ready to give. So maybe the knees come together, toes are pointed towards one another. Take care of your hips, take care of your knees, take care of that lower back. And just breathe. You can change up the leg, the foot position. You can stay wherever you are. Just breathe. Let's slowly walk those feet out just a bit. Knees remain bent. Slowly lifting through the upper body. If you need support with those hands, use it to press yourself back up. Taking care of that back. And we're going to shift that bolster around in front, and we're going to slide it right underneath those knees. And again, you can change it up. You can make it long so that you're making it taller. So whatever feels good to you. With these short legs of mine, those feet don't even touch the floor. So whatever feels good. I need it a little shorter. You can take the bolster away. You don't have to use it. Sit up nice and tall and just come forward. Tummy comes down towards those thighs. Hands extending out right along those toes and just round it over. That forward fold, only those knees are bent, so not nearly as intense for those hamstrings, but geez, it feels good in that lower back. Middle back as you round over the knees. Inhale, reach it out and hinge up all the way nice and tall, bringing the hands down by your sides. Lowering yourself down, so you're going to kind of have to bring your bottom forward just a little bit, supporting your way down onto your back. Breathe. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, the top of the bolster, and allow those knees to open out wide. With those feet elevated just a little bit on that bolster, a little more room for the knees to open. A little pelvic tilt to keep that small of the back a little happier. If you prefer no bolster, absolutely, yep, just bring your feet to the floor. If you like, bring your hands overhead, stacking one hand on top of the other. If that is not great for your shoulders for whatever reason, if your lower back is not in love with that, it's okay. Bring your hands down to a more comfortable position. If you like, switch your hands. And slowly, gently, bringing the knees back towards one another. Let's place one foot to the floor and the other. Let's begin to press through those heels. So pull your heels in towards your bottom. Press through those heels to lift your hips towards the sky. And we're going to pull the bolster up right behind us, supporting at the small of the back and your glutes. Heel toe your feet back into hip width apart. And release your hands down by your sides for a supported bridge pose. Again, if you prefer an active bridge pose, you can absolutely do that. Pressing through those heels, lifting your hips. You're not being supported by the bolster or the pillow. In fact, from here, you can always do your active bridge. And then as you inhale, gently release. As you exhale, press it up to that active bridge. That's always kind of a great alternative. If you want a little active stretch and a little passive stretch, maybe one more time if you'd like to join me. And back to that passive stretch. This time as we come up to our active stretch, if you don't already have that bolster underneath you, pull it underneath. And then gently release it back down. We pull that right knee in towards the chest. And then the left. And just let the knees be heavy up against the chest. That little pelvic tilt of the support of the bolster just above the tailbone. Great little pelvic tilt to draw those knees in. You can bring your hands and interlace. You can have the hands down by your sides. Whatever feels good to you. You may choose to stay here. If you wish, we are going to come to a supportive plow pose. Arms go down by your sides, and you begin to extend those legs. Again, with that pelvic tilt, it just lifts the sit bones a little bit. It lengthens and gives us that great stretch to the hamstrings. Find your breath and slow it down. Slow, steady, deep breaths. Plow pose, such a magical place for the hamstrings, for the lower back. So if you don't love plow pose, the supported plow pose can be an amazing alternative. And slowly begin to bend your knees. Let's release that right foot to the floor. Bring the hands to that left knee and just interlace your fingers, feeling a nice stretch down the front of that right leg. We can keep that right knee bent, or you're welcome to extend that right leg out. That is definitely a deeper hip flexor stretch. Be nice. Remember, this is supposed to be gentle, right? Take the time you need. If you need a little extra time, take it. And slowly pull that right knee back in. Hands are going to transition to that right knee. Left foot to the floor. Knee is bent, sole of the foot resting, and just check in with that hip flexor stretch. Is this enough for you? Is this a gentle stretch? Or are you just aching for a little bit more? As you slide that foot out, there's a lot of gray room. You can relax it and just find that space that's not a 10. We definitely want to stay away from 10s. We want to stay away from 9s. Only on occasion getting to an 8. But today, not an 8. Today, we're going to play right around the 4 or 5 range. If you're feeling a little spicy and you really want that stretch and it just feels super good, yep, you can toy with that 6 or 7. And then slowly, slowly, if you need more time, take it. Draw that left knee in. Nice little ball. And then slowly bringing one foot to the mat and then the other. Coming back to that active bridge, squeeze your buns, lift those hips, slide that bolster out from underneath you. And ever so slowly, one vertebra at a time from the top of your spine all the way down, bring it back to the mat. That pelvic tilt, allowing your bottom to be the very last to touch. And let's take those arms out to a T. Heel toe your feet out towards the outside edge of your mat, and let's gently sway the knees side to side. Just letting them fall. Hip mobility, lower back stretch, just feels super good. Let's do one more time each direction. And come back to center. Let's heel toe those feet in. Toes are going to turn towards one another. Knees are going to gently touch. We're going to bend the elbows and bring the backs of the hands to the mat, creating a field goal position with those arms. Stretching through the shoulders. Now, what happens if those hands are hovering above? You can't quite get the backs of the hands to the mat. It's okay. As long as there's no pain, let your arms, your hands be heavy, and just let it happen as it's ready to happen. Slowly lift your fingertips towards the sky and then transition the palms down towards the ground. Make sure your bolster's out of the way. Breathe. So what happens here? Maybe one palm touches the floor, the other one doesn't. They're kind of hovering above. It's okay. This is definitely not a position you put yourself in very often, and this is all about creating mobility in that shoulder joint. A ball and socket joint that's meant to move in all different directions. Again, we lift those fingertips towards the sky, and then as you exhale, back of the hands towards the mat. Maybe we've gained a little mobility. Maybe it's the same. Don't judge, don't criticize. Just notice what it is. Inhale, fingertips towards the sky, and as you exhale, palms come down. Lots more challenging this direction. Inhale, fingertips to the sky, and let's extend those arms overhead. Just crossing one hand on top of the other. Let's take that left leg down to the bottom left corner of your mat. Right ankle is going to cross over the left. We lift the upper body and shift it to the upper left corner of your mat. Working to open your tummy and chest, open the shoulders and chest to the sky. And just breathe. That crescent shape, that lateral movement, stretching through the shoulder, through the ribs and the waist, down the outside of that right leg. Feels pretty good. Inhale, lift the upper body back to center. And we shift that right leg all the way over to the bottom right corner of the mat. Left leg crosses up and over the right ankle. We lift the upper body and we shift it to the top right corner of the mat. And then we work to open the tummy and chest. And breathe. And lift that upper body back to center. Bring those legs back to center. Pull the knees in nice and tight. Take a moment just in this little ball. And then rock yourself up to a seated position that feels good to you. Crisscross those legs and sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm up and over, and we're just going to sway side to side. Both arms come up, and exhale, other side. One more time, each direction. Just slow and steady. One more time this side. Inhale, reach to the sky. Pull those hands down to heart center. Take a moment, close your eyes, a little tuck of your chin towards your chest. A moment of quiet gratitude to the mind and the body. Inhale, lift your face. Pull the hands up, base of the thumbs to the center of the forehead. Activating our intuition, a guide to get us through our day. As you exhale, a gentle bow forward. Namaste.